to hear praise from you, certainly. Coach kind of deferred. Like, I'm not ready to talk about the Lakers. We'll talk about that in a second. Can you just gush about this team? I mean, such a huge run to get to this position.
Yeah, and Kenny, what I saw out of this team, even before the shutdown, I saw a team coming together in February and March that I thought at that time was the best passing team in the league. I thought it was the smartest team in the NBA. I think Erik Spoelstra, going into this bubble, was one of the top 5 coaches. I now think he is the best coach in the NBA. When they got to the restart and got down to the bubble, though, I started to see a team, and I said this before the Milwaukee series, I said I wouldn't be shocked if this team makes it all the way to the finals. That's how connected they were playing. And here's what they do so well. They do the basics at a really high level. And by basics, I mean they never hang anybody out to dry defensively. So they can trust each other, I think, at a higher level defensively as teammates than any other team in the NBA. They're there for help and recover. They don't miss assignments. They make sure they double when they're supposed to. They make sure they don't leave you on an island. Offensively, they just don't miss the open guy. They make sure it goes to the next available open player, and they trust that guy to make a shot. So the word trust, I think, is something that comes to mind when I think of this team before anything else. I played 10 years in the league, and I played on some teams that didn't trust each other very much. It's a very difficult thing to come by, and it's something that they have at a really high level. And he talked about the competitiveness. I think trust goes right there with that. This is a very special group, and do not underestimate them against the Lakers.
They kind of rotated who was going to be the hero, and Hero was one of them from time to time through this series and through the playoffs. But Bam Adebayo, John just showed the highlight, made that big block to finish off game 1, and then he stepped up huge in the fourth quarter to get this win.
Yeah, it's a luxury to have a center that can handle the ball like this. I mean, he's such a versatile player. He's such a tough matchup. And when you saw what happened in the fourth quarter, when that team fell behind 6, it was Bam Adebayo that basically took over the game. And he did it with, obviously his force and athleticism around the rim is going to be there every night, but where of opportunities to attack Daniel Tice in particular. And you can see from a foot speed standpoint, there's just no way Tice can keep up with that. And Bam showed you the full array. He made plays off the dribble with passing. He hit a short pull-up. He took the ball all the way to the rim. He made free throws when he had to. He gave you 14 rebounds on the defensive end of the floor. So his performance tonight, I think, was indicative of how far he has come. He has gone from being a guy that you looked at as a role player who finally got an opportunity to start, and now he's gone to the most improved player in the league, in my opinion, even though he didn't win it this year, to now a bona fide all-star moving forward, I think, perennially. And he took over that game like a star would in the fourth quarter and really helped deliver them to the finals. So you can't say enough about what he did in this one.
Coach wasn't in the mood to look at the matchup with the Lakers just yet, but I bet you he's up late breaking down film, or at least early in the morning. What's your first look at that next series? Lakers, huge favorites to take down this Heat team.
Yeah, and here's why it's a difficult proposition for Miami, but I don't think it's something that they can't pull off. But the big problem is, listen, the Lakers have the 2 best players in the series. That's an issue. And they're 2 guys that are also super dynamic because they can beat you in any way. And I just think Anthony Davis is going to be the toughest matchup for them. Bam Adebayo has got to provide a lot of rim protection. Well, you've got to go out and guard Anthony Davis all over the floor as well. So that's going to be an issue. I think if Miami can pull it off, they've got to force the Lakers into a 3-point shooting team. That is still the weakness for that group. That zone could play into that. And then a big question I have for the Heat as well is, can Goran Dragic and Tyler Hero be as good against the defensive pressure they're going to see from the Lakers as they have been to this point? That's going to be a key element. And then finally, why do you go out and get a guy like Andre Iguodala? You get him for a series like this when he can take on a guy like LeBron James. Nobody is going to stop LeBron. But what you can do in those moments when you have to have single coverage on him, who can do the best job of just at least making him less efficient? And I think Andre Iguodala might be the best guy for that role. They went out and got him, a veteran player. You saw him tonight even. He chipped in offensively in a big way. But I think his defense with LeBron will be a factor. But I think more than anything, it's going to be Miami's zone against the Lakers. That's how you bottle up the force of LeBron in the paint. That's how you bottle up an Anthony Davis. You can converge on the paint and try to force this team into shooting certainly more threes than they had to against Denver. I think that is going to be the key to the entire series. Can the Lakers role players make enough threes on a given night? Because I think Erik Spoelstra is going to force them to shoot them.
Jim Legler, always good working with you. Looking forward to the championship series.
Take a look. look at the ESPN Sports Complex at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. It's the home of the NBA playoffs and home of Game 6 between the Heat and the Celtics. Jimmy Butler is looking to make the NBA Finals for the first time in his career. So will it be that Heat culture that prevails, or will it be the Celtics that are able to come back from down 3-1 for the third time in franchise history? The good news is Jason Tatum is wearing bright colors and tie-dye. He scored 31 points in the last game. 21 came in the second half, and the Celtics are fighting back with their backs against the wall. We are counting down to Game 6 right now.
I ain't been able to get no sleep.
You don't pack your bags.
Another one.
You don't check out.
We fight for our life.
The Celtics still alive.
I played like 2, 4, 6, 8. Watch his factory so they appreciate.
And you certainly don't do a half's worth of damage in a single quarter if you plan on getting out early.
2020, I came to get up. Yeah.
4 games in, and everyone thought they knew.
They start to believe it.
Down 3-1 is not fun.
And then the third quarter
Come
happened.
for me, I tear them all to pieces.
The Miami Heat are thinking right now, this is not the same team we've been facing.
Put that do not disturb back on the door.
I want a long life, a legendary one.
Nobody's ready to head home yet.
We're going to have to do it again and again because of the position we're in.
Celtics, Heat, Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. This is NBA Countdown.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Mountain Dew.
And when you hear the voice of MC Light, you know what time it is. Welcome to NBA Countdown, live from the Seaport District at Pier 17, brought to you by Chase. We have all cleared our throats because we are prepared for Game 6, Celtics Heat. Uncle P, you look fresh in your forces. These must be an elimination game outfit for you. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
They might need them, so he had to put his sneakers on.
Y'all gonna be all right today, P.
Right.
Want to rumble with the B, huh?
Queen B.
Want to rumble with the B, huh?
Queen B is here,
B.
Maria Taylor. We got Jalen Rose
I'm little
looking
brother,
extra
I'm little
crispy.
brother,
We got
little
everyone's
brother.
little brother.
Yeah.
He might show up and teach us something today.
You might wear
Sometimes he's a
socks
professor.
next time.
Nope. European ankles today. You see it.
The good news is we were all sitting at home and enjoying a game in the Western Conference Finals, and we were able to see the Lakers advance to the finals for the first time since 2010. I can still hear LA cheering from here in New York City. They got the win 117-107 over the Nuggets, and really LeBron James just put in a casual 38 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists. And never forget, he is 35 years old, playing in his 17th season, and put this game on his back in the fourth quarter. The most amazing part of LeBron's performance, though, is probably the fact that we've actually seen it before. Saturday marked the 4th time in his career he has led both teams outright in points, rebounds, and assists in a series-clinching win. All other players in NBA postseason history have combined to do this just twice. So the question is, how should we define, or how should we view his 10th appearance in the finals, Jalen?
LeBron has been Santa Claus because he's delivered like on Christmas morning. Since we have somebody that's one of his rivals up on the set, cover your eyes on Christmas morning, Paul Pierce. 10 finals appearances, 6 unassisted baskets in the fourth quarter, 5 different coaches, 4 regular season MVPs, 3 finals MVPs, doing it in 2 facets of life, on and off the floor. 1 championship ring. The Lakers are getting it this year. Lake Show fans, get ready to celebrate. This is just a formality. LeBron James is delivering this season, Jay Will.
I think if he wins a title, this will be his greatest / most controversial title he's ever won in his career, right? I say greatest because we all know that in order to win, it's just not what you do on the court, it's what you do off the court. Think about everything he's had to deal with this year. Kobe Bryant passing away, right? Stepping up, being that figure for the Lakers, going through a pandemic, taking 3.5, 4 months off from basketball, dealing with social injustice happening during that time, being a civil rights leader, essentially, while still being one of the best players in the game, and obviously leaving his family, playing in the bubble, still while leading, talking about Breonna Taylor, say all of their names. And why I say most controversial is controversy, the definition means a rise in disagreement. You have a lot of people now that may have cared a little bit about LeBron James beforehand, but now you people that want to see him lose on and off the court. You know, it doesn't matter what he does on the court, they want him to fail. And he is now in that territory as it respects to a leader. I think that really the weight he's had to carry this year, it's been different than I've seen any other athlete carry in their entire career.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not easy to make an NBA Finals, and for him to be able to do it 10 times, he's moving up there in my rankings.
Is he getting close to the top 5?
No. I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, if LeBron James If he wins a title this year,
Okay.
I'll put him right behind Michael Jordan.
So he jumped from outside of your top 5 to number 2 with the
absolutely.
win.
I mean, his third team. No, his third team, third championship.
You getting there, Paul?
Listen though,
We're getting
but he
you
still
there.
has a
It
lot.
ain't personal.
He still got a lot of work to do to get past MJ.
What does he need to do to get by MJ?
I think he needs to win 3 more titles. I mean, this year included, to pass MJ. You know, but once he
need to
gets,
get the 6th title.
once he wins this year. But then the thing is, like, a lot of you guys have him number 2, right? Right now, currently behind Mike. Let's say he doesn't win the finals this year, then what?